Hey, it's Rebecca here from Precious Pages Papercraft, and today I'm taking part in a celebratory hop for our good friend Laura. She's known as Cityscrapper on YouTube and Instagram, and she's reached 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, so we're having a celebratory hop in her honour. So people are either creating a layout in her honour or scrap lifting her. I've chosen to scrap lift one of Laura's layouts. I've just showed it at the beginning of my video. I was really inspired by the kind of mosaic tiled shape she had in the background. She's got hers in a heart shape. I'm having mine going across the page, and I've actually used a cut file for mine. It was a free cut file, I think, from Paper Issues, but it's the same kind of mosaic tiled effect. And Laura's used really bright papers, so I'm going to do the same as that. And I'm using P13's Time to Relax collection. So I cut my cut file, I actually cut it on A4 white card, didn't need to waste a 12 by 12 sheet on it because I'm only going to be using the kind of tiled pieces as templates. So I've got it, you can't see it here, but I've got it to the left of me off screen, and I'm just taking it off one tile at a time, and I'm sticking those kind of negative pieces of the cut file to the reverse of the papers I'm using, and then I'm just cutting around them. And that's just because it was easier than drawing around them all and then cutting them out. I'm not going to use these negative pieces, so I thought I might as well just stick them to the back and then cut around them to save myself a bit of time. And talking of time, this did take a while. You saw me peeling off kind of the backing part of that cut file just now off my mat. There are quite a few tiles to cut out, so I'm going to skip through this part because it's very repetitive, but I'm just using 4 pattern papers from the collection. So I've got a pink, a purple, a kind of mustardy yellow, and then a green colour in various sizes. I'm just going to get all of these cut out. So finished with all of that now. I've got all the pieces lined up to the left just off screen there. I've lined them up as they appear in this cut file, so I know exactly where each one is going to go. Just trying really hard now to crack on with my layout without disturbing them. So I've stuck the aperture part of the cut file to my 12 by 12 cardstock just with some washi tape so that I can see where each of those tiles are going to sit. And I'm now adding some adhesive craft foam, cutting it into really small pieces just that it fits inside each of these shapes, and that's because I want to raise those tiles up off my background to bring in a bit of dimension. I've also distressed the edges of all of those pieces. It did take me a while, but I love the look it gives. It just brings a bit more texture to the page. So yeah, I've used my edge distresser for that, and then I'm just going to take some time to get these craft pieces in place. So I skipped through that because that's very repetitive as well. And you can see here I'm just adding some double-sided tape to the back of each of these pieces of foam. And then the next step should be fairly easy in theory. It's just a case of me replacing those coloured tiles, moving them from the left to the right, hopefully in the right place. I haven't muddled any of them up. I did initially take that template off thinking I didn't need it anymore. But then I realised that not all of my pieces of foam were like dead central in the aperture, so it wouldn't have lined up my tiles perfectly. So I've popped it back in, and I'm just peeling off my tape and getting the pieces moved over into place. And whilst I do this, I'll just let you know, if you click on the description box below my video, you will find a list of all the scrappers taking part in today's hop to help celebrate Laura's 1,000 subscriber milestone. We've each made a video in her honour and made a layout, so you'll find links to all those videos in my description box. If you could, when you finish my video, just pop to each of those people's channels and share some love their way as well, that would be superb. Obviously, if you subscribe to their channels, I'm sure it would also make them very, very happy. It's lovely when we get new subscribers. Each one means the world to us. So and when we get to these milestones, it's really fun for us all to join in and celebrate each other with a hop. So you will find everybody's details down below. So my layout is now finally starting to take shape, 4.5 minutes in, to a lot longer in reality, but we are there. I've got all of my pieces now in place, all of my tiles, and as you can see, mine are kind of going across the page horizontally, whereas Laura had hers arranged in a heart shape. I've also used a square photo in honour of Laura's layout because she had a square photo on her page. She had hers centred in the heart, but I'm going to just offset mine slightly to the right I don't know why, I'm just a bit weird about having photos in the centre of my page lately. I like to offset them one way or another. So yeah, I've printed that in square. I've backed it onto white cardstock just to give it a bit of separation from all those colours in the background. And then I've added a layer of the green patterned paper behind it. I do find a lot of the colours in this collection are obviously very girly, and I'm using florals to embellish, so I thought I'd go with the green behind my photo, as that's more of a masculine colour and it's my little boy's favourite colour as well, so I thought that was quite fitting. And it's a photo of him at a little model village. It's not too far from us, and they've got this model of, I think it's probably supposed to be Windsor Castle. I've never actually had the time to stop and read any of the plaques with a 4-year-old. You can imagine he's just running around, so I never get to stop and read anything. But I think it was supposed to be Windsor Castle, and it's got that lovely kind of brickwork effect on it, so that worked really well with my background with this mosaic tiled pattern, which is why I've chosen this photo. And the colours in it are quite neutral as well, so I've got loads of colours going on in my background, so I didn't want any colours that were going to really mess with that in the photo, so it's quite a neutral photo. So I fussy cut some of the florals from that P13 collection, and I've popped a cluster either side of my photo. I've also added some leaf cut files there. Those are from Hip Kit Club. They are free subscriber files, so if you subscribe to Hip Kit you get access to loads of free cut files every month, and this was one of them. I've just used, I think there's a set of 4 or 5 leaves and some acorns in the set, and I've just used 2 of the leaves. I've just cut several times. I've also brought in some gold puffy stickers of some kind of leaf sprigs and hearts. Put the leaf sprigs in those clusters, and then I've spread the hearts around the layout a bit. And then I'm getting my title added on. I was initially going to put it over on the left there, over the mosaics, but I was a bit worried about it sort of getting lost. And also I noticed on Laura's layout, she's added her title kind of underneath on the white space. So again, in honour of Laura's layout, I've gone for adding it underneath on the white. And my title's going to be King of the Castle, because my little boy did look quite giant against this model castle. And I've used some gold glittered alpha stickers there for the words King and Castle, just to tie in, because I've got bits of gold here and there on the layout. I've also added some metallic gold thread. I think I've already added it. If I haven't, then I do add it. Some metallic gold thread, so it just brings in a little bit more of that gold. And then I've used, I think they're Pink Fresh Alphas for the smaller words in between, and just picked some colours that match the papers I've got in my background. Now I'm fussy cutting some butterflies. I absolutely adore these butterflies. These are from a Vicky Booting collection. They are vellum and they are gold foiled, but it's kind of like holographic gold, so in different light you can almost see it on the kind of blue butterfly over on the left there. It's kind of like a iridescent coloured look, and they're absolutely stunning. I'm now down to my last sheet of this, so I will definitely cry when I've used them all. But I didn't buy any of the embellishments really to go with this P13 collection. I just bought some papers, and the papers in those collections are generally quite good to fussy cut, so I've fussy cut loads of florals on them. But I didn't buy any of the tags, banners or stickers or anything, so I've been using these Vicky Booting butterflies, because they work really well with a lot of the colours. And I hadn't actually added my gold thread tangles yet. I'm doing those now. So I've got one, I've just tucked one either side of my photo in amongst those clusters for a bit more gold, and it brings in a bit more texture to my page. So I decided I wanted a few more of those butterflies, so I've just skipped through me fussy cutting those. If you've never fussy cut from vellum before, it is so therapeutic. I love doing it, and my little Cutterbee scissors just kind of glide through it like cutting butter. I just really love cutting these butterflies out. So I've got 5 on my layout in total, and I've added one above my photo and a couple below, just to kind of use some of the space and extend my design out a bit. And now I'm going to add some sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps. So I'm using the Flowers Falling mix, which is that kind of purple and pink mix you see there. to bring in some purple and green tones, and then I'm also mixing in some of the Late Summer Thoughts mix. I just want the yellow and the green from that mix because there's no yellow in the flowers falling or falling flowers mix, so I wanted those yellows as well. I'm just scattering those around. I'll pop a link in the description box below to Spiegelmom as well. If you do want to place an order, you can get your sequins, and you can also get your acetate, your double-sided tapes, your Big Mama foam tape roll, which are great for making shaker pockets. That link below, because I'm on the design team, it will give you a 15% discount off your entire order as well. So well worth keeping that link. It won't expire. Just keep it to hand and your discount will be added at the point of checkout. So I'll pop that down below in the description box for you. But I've just got my sequins on now. I just use a paper piercing tool with a bit of glossy accents on the tip of it, just to position those in, and then stick those down with a bit more glossy accent. So I'm pretty much finished now. I just want to add some splatters. I'm using watered down white gesso for my white splatters because I find it just stays a bit whiter than my acrylic paint. My acrylic paint soaks into pattern papers, and then sort of you can see the colours from the papers through the paint, whereas I find my gesso sits on top a bit better, and so it stays much whiter. So I'm just adding some splatters of that. I've just dropped my paintbrush on my layout as well, so I've now got loads of white on my title, so just cleaned that up. And then I'm going to do the same with the gold metallic acrylic paint, and I'm just going to add some splatters of that just to bring in a bit more gold and kind of tie it all together. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a close-up here before I'll add some photos at the end, but that is my layout finished, and I love how this one turned out, and I love the inspiration I got from Laura's layout. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you're already a subscriber to my channel, then thank you for stopping by, and do remember to check out everyone else's videos. If you're not already a subscriber, it would be great if you could subscribe, and again, share the love with all of my friends in the description box below. But thank you very much for joining me, and congratulations to Laura on her massive milestone of 100 subbies. Hopefully she'll get a load more from this, and before you know it, we'll be celebrating her 1500 mark. But thanks again for joining me. I'll leave you with the rest of the close-ups, and I'll see you again soon.